We're going to talk about Daniel Penny in the New York City subway incident today. I got a ton to say about this. Before I do, the unthinkable has happened.
Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another episode of Mikey Reacts. Today we are reacting to Buddy Brown, but it's not his music. He does post these funny little skits on YouTube where he talks, and he posted one, I think, after the Daniel Penny incident that said, let's just say it, New York City ain't part of America. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm assuming he's talking about the policy, the political policy, not necessarily the people. I think the people in New York City are just as patriotic as anyone else, especially being that New York obviously had the 9/11 terror attack that brought everybody closer, and it was a very, very unifying and although distressing and horrible time. So that, I think, is what he's talking about. So we're going to see exactly what he is talking about. I know there's a big sentiment, especially from like Texans and Southerners, that New York City, the morals or sort of the culture of New York City isn't congruent with the rest of America, because you do have similarities in people that are from the South, the Midwest, and further out west, aside from California, Oregon, and Washington, of course, because they're more liberal than other parts of the country in population and in politics. So that's probably what he's on about. So I'm interested to find out exactly what he means. Before we get to this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below anything else you want to see from me, and also check down in the description, because I have my Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon. You can subscribe to Patreon. It's $5 a month, and I'll be talking more about things like this in terms of politics. And so I'm actually not going to be commenting too much on this video today. We're just going to watch it and react to it, and I will post some comments on Patreon in a longer form for you guys next week, so you can see my real views on, not my real views, I'm never going to lie to you, I'm going to be honest here too, but you can see my more in-depth views about this specific incident, lest I get shouted at by a bunch of YouTube liberals, which is the truth. And not only that, you can also support the channel by hitting that super thanks button and donating to this channel. I'll be donating to charity at the end of this month, 20% of all proceeds. So let's get to this video. I won't bore you too long with my British accent. Let's hit record here. Oh, we've got an advert.
Sometimes in life there are moments when you just need a...
I really like him. I like his personality. I think he's great. This is true. I heard and read about the incident. I watched parts of the incident, and he's right. He did not do a thing wrong. Agreed.
Top of the freaking morning, y'all. Hope everybody's doing good. Happy Monday.
Just to clarify, he's not a hero because of the killing. He's a hero in spite of that. Just simply stopping a man who was harassing and threatening people on a New York subway is what makes him a hero.
We're going to talk about Daniel Penny in the New York City subway incident today. I got a ton to say about this. Before I do, the unthinkable has happened. The Truck Sessions album I've been working on for years and years is being held hostage right now, at least in the USA, on Spotify. They won't play it. It's in Spotify jail. It's displayed, but it's not clickable. And there's no explanation as to why that is. I did a series of live videos last night.
I can tell you why that is, buddy, because you're conservative and they don't like you.
I said, look, I've never been a huge Apple Music fan or Apple fan, but for whatever reason, Apple is playing the Buddy Brown album. It's out there. I said, here's the link. Let's go send a freaking message to these dadgum commies. Same people that tried to push Bud Light in our face, the same people that tried to cut Tucker Carlson out, they messed with the wrong people, y'all. Because now they're coming after me. I said, here's the link. Let's make it happen. Let's send a message. Not for money. Screw that. I've already made it. You know, I've had top 3 albums. I've had a #1 country album on iTunes. That's not the case. It's about sending a message. This album went from number 154 to 76 to 38 to 14. It's right now the #3 album in the USA on country in iTunes. And it's because of y'all. It's because we're sending a message. I'm hoping by the time you watch this video, it's going...
The message is super important because it's getting drowned out by all this new neoliberal stuff. This is important to watch.
#1. So get on there and just, if you could throw $9 at that, just go throw $9 at it. Because we are going to give the biggest middle finger to these commies and these wokes that try to shut us down and say, you can't sing about that kind of stuff. Hell, are you kidding me? I worked on this for years. You ain't gonna stop nothing. And if iTunes is the only place you can get this dadgum album right now that will play it, then go get it. So, as far as the New York City subway incident, Daniel Penny is a 24-year-old decorated Marine, not a former Marine. There's no such thing. He's a Marine that put a homeless guy in a submission hold on the subway because he was trying to attack a bunch of people. Turns out this homeless guy had a rap sheet of over 40 crimes and an outstanding warrant last week for punching a 67-year-old woman in the face. This guy should be getting his own parade. Daniel Penny should be getting a Heroes Award and $1 million for being a freaking hero.
Yeah.
And instead, New York City is trying to charge him with second-degree manslaughter for doing the right thing. So I hope this video right here triggers something deep inside your chest. I hope it triggers a massive pilgrimage. Because some of y'all, this is going to hit hard. You think you live in America, but you don't. I'm talking to like the 5% on this channel that live in Los Angeles County and New York City, okay? But I know you're watching, so I'm just going to tell you this with love. We laugh at liberals all the time because they live in the world of make-believe, but a lot of conservatives are doing the same dadgum thing because they think living in LA County and New York City. But the fact of the matter is, y'all, you cannot coexist with communists. It just ain't possible. Because in a matter of life and death, those fallen cities will not have your back, and they will wait for you to do the right thing so they can throw you in jail.
Yeah.
So are y'all ready to call U-Haul yet? And get on down here and pack up and move to the free states? I'm just wondering. Again, I'm telling y'all this with love, but look, I cannot watch another patriot get arrested in New York, Chicago, Portland, or LA because the hatred towards you on social media is more powerful than the law. Y'all know that's how it works in those cities now. It's whichever side makes the most noise on social media is the more powerful than the freaking law. How can a patriot ever survive in that kind of system? If y'all haven't seen this video I did about a year ago, it's called There's Only 38 States Left in America. I talk about these things I call ANO states, which is American in name only, which ironically means ANO is anus in Spanish, which sounds about right. ANO states aren't safe because that's the first place an enemy is actually going to attack. Our enemies know the places where gun owners have no rights. They know the places where you can squat and set up communist camps and California ain't gonna do nothing about it.
Yeah.
They know the places where cops have little to no authority whatsoever and they could just waltz right in.
Yeah.
Daniel Penny was just guilty of being in New York City. He was guilty of being in an ANO city.
Yeah.
And as of this morning, I just checked, he's raised almost $2 million on his Give, Send, Go funding page,
Amazing.
which I contributed to a lot myself, and I suggest y'all do the same. We have dangerous left-wing extremists that want to see a hero go to jail.
Sometimes
And some of y'all, you know, could be the next ones if you don't get out of these commie hellholes. If you're... I want to appeal to you one last way because this is the simplest way I can possibly explain it to you. If you're still stubborn and you want to be a conservative living in New York City or Los Angeles County, let me ask you something. Do y'all think you're safe in your house when it's on fire because you're sitting in the guest room and the fire happens to be in the kitchen? You might say, what's the big deal? The fire's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
The guest room is just fine. I'm sitting here scrolling on my phone. You don't reach for a fire extinguisher. You don't call the fire department. You don't even get out a dadgum water hose. You just keep scrolling on your phone in the guest room while the kitchen fire just spreads and spreads and spreads. Trust me, your whole house is going down. I can't explain it any simpler than that, y'all. And I know it's hard to move, and but we're all waiting down here in the free states, and we got your back when you arrive, I promise you. So get on down here, get out of these places that don't have your back. If they throw a patriot in jail for doing something heroic, that should be your very first sign that there's no possible compatibility that you could ever coexist with this form of government. So get out. We love you. Come on. We got a crawfish boil down here waiting for you and some hamburgers on the grill.
Sounds lovely.
I promise you it'll be the best decision you ever made. I'm just concerned about a lot of y'all. You're still trying to fight the good fight until something like this happens. God bless Marine Daniel Penny. I hope he gets released on all charges.
Yeah.
I hope everything is just completely cleared, along with his name and his reputation and everything. Because these are the kind of people who we got to have their back because they did the right thing. They're a hero and they need to be seen and praised as such. God bless y'all. Have a great week.
Daniel Penny's, in my opinion, his reputation is not destroyed. Those of us who see clearly with wide eyes know precisely what is happening here. I personally agree with everything Buddy just said right there. So say what you will, but Daniel Penny, I think, did a good thing. He did the right thing. That many arrests, a warrant out, assaulting people, punching an old lady in the face, you know, it is what it is, guys. Law and order is important. Daniel Penny just did what the police wouldn't do in these liberal cities. If you want to know exactly how I feel about the situation, I'm going to talk for a few minutes more. I'm going to post a longer form video of this video on Patreon, so you can see exactly what I think. Write down in the comments below, what do you think? I don't think necessarily Daniel Penny deserved to die, but I do think he needed to be stopped, and unfortunately that happened. That happens very, very often in police encounters too, and not necessarily wrongly. It happens, but he would not have met that fate had he not been abusing people on the subway, had 40 or so arrests and punched an old lady in the face. Just to clarify. Anyway, I'll leave you guys with that. If you support this message, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and go over to Patreon. It's going to cost you $5, $5 measly dollars per month. You won't even notice them coming out of your account, and you will get to see exactly how I feel about this very, very situation.